Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today let's talk about resource management. What game modes should you be focusing on? What characters are important on developing an overall stronger account? And what resources and game modes are just the best for building an account? So let's jump into it. So the first game mode that everyone should prioritize is Fleet Arena. Getting 300 to 400 crystals with top 5 placement is huge for developing your account. We all know that crystals is the premium account currency in this game. And to progress faster, you need crystals. If you aren't getting your 3 refreshes in every energy, it's probably because one, you don't have the crystal income because you don't get first to fifth in Fleet Arena, and you're also not doing that well in Grand Arena because it takes a very long time until you overtake Fleet Arena with Grand Arena, and that doesn't happen until you are in Kyber. So if you're looking to build an overall faster account that can do well, Fleet Arena is the best way to do that with first to fifth place placement, and you can do that with Executor, Profundity, and if you're mid to late game and even end game, it's going to be important to have that Leviathan. So I always advise get the Executor Profundity first because it doesn't require 2 conquest characters, which is unattainable for early players, but you can early game get the Executor and the Profundity. After you have the Executor and the Profundity and you've gone through and you've established yourself with the first GL and all these other things that I will talk about, then you can go for Leviathan once you're in the place to strictly farm those 2 conquest characters, and you can secure the 2 R9s for that fleet. But it is an excellent fleet. It's probably it is the meta currently for Fleet Arena, but it's not attainable for early players. So just go straight for that Executor or Profundity. Also, those fleets help in Grand Arena. Placing them on defense is a great way to climb in Grand Arena. Not a lot of players, especially early game to mid game, know how to handle an Executor or a Profundity on defense, and it's going to print some wins for you. So it's an excellent addition to your crystal income, and it's an excellent addition to your Grand Arena team. I'll say this, I climbed into Kyber with 2 GLs, and I did it because I had excellent fleets. So if you want to progress your account, get more crystals, and snowball your growth, then Fleet Arena has to be your #1 priority. So next, we have raids. Raids are very important. It is the #1 way that we get gear. We can also get slicing materials, we can get character shards, it's how we get our higher end resources through our Mark III to get higher end relics. It is a very, very important game mode, and it's the way that we gear our characters. So at least for very new players, you need to try to aim for at least 500,000 participation, which is actually very easy with this raid, especially the speeder bike raid. It's a very early player friendly game mode. It's also for mid, late, end game. It's a very generous raid for the currencies that we get and the rewards we get. Is it the best raid? No. Do I get motion sickness playing it? Yes. Is that the best thing? That it's not fun, right? It's not a great game mode. But if we're talking about resources that we get in the game, this game mode is extremely generous. It's the fastest way of gearing all the way from gear 8 into relics. So you have to prioritize it. You have to try to get into the best guild that can give you the highest placement, and then you have to have good individual participation so that you can get the resources out of it. And bare minimum, you should aim for getting that 23 million box, because it's going to get you in and start getting you those end game resources that are really important for progressing from gear 8 all the way to relics. So prioritize raid at least enough that for your GP range that you're getting those resources into your account, because it's the best way and the key way that we all are developing our lower gear characters. Next, we have our first GL. So a first GL is very important. It's an establishing moment in your account, and it really starts defining your roster at that point. So a first GL is going to help you in a lot of different ways. It's going to help you in Grand Arena. It's going to, especially with galactic challenges. So before you have your first GL, it's going to be very difficult to reliably get box 8 so that you get those 2 Omicrons. You need those 2 Omicrons. It's the rarest material in the game. A lot of characters need them. They're really foundational for TW and Grand Arena. So if you aren't earning those Omicrons every opportunity, chances are you're not going to be able to always have the specific character to get that red box, but you could always have a GL that can cheese some feats and get you the highest level wins, and then you can start reliably getting box 8 every single time. And that's going to be very important in your account. It's also great for Grand Arena. You can place them on defense, or you can use them on offense to take out the opposing team's strongest enemy defenses, usually another GL. It's just an all around very important milestone in an account when you get your first GL. With Lightspeed bundles, a lot of the first GLs are SLKR or Ray, which is totally fine. They're also very great in Conquest. Every single GL, while may not be exactly ideal for Conquest, a GL is a very powerful character, and they can help get you through those really difficult nodes so that you don't get stuck and you can go through. And I've used Ray, SLKR to go all the way into Zone 5 in Hard Conquest. So if you have those two GLs can carry you all the way through Hard Conquest. They may not be able to get all the feats, but they'll be able to get you reliably box 5 more than likely, and then you can have a way to start earning those Conquest characters before they hit Proving Grounds, which is very important. So overall, your first GL is going to be very roster defining, and you do have to hit that milestone after you secure your first, at least your Fleet GL and raid currency. Then your next priority should be getting that first GL into your account, whatever one you want to go with. It doesn't matter, they're all great. Just choose one that you like, maybe you're close to, whatever your thought process is, but you should have a GL realistically as your third goal into this game. Next, we have assault battles. Assault battles are very important for getting more resources into your account. I would say at bare minimum, every time you do a big farm, you should do an assault battle farm right after. So if you go for Executor, you should immediately get maybe Imperial Troopers because they have 2 assault battles, and then you get SLKR, and then you can get CLS, and then you get another GL or GL ship, and then you get Jedi Knight Luke. Like these, building the assault battles in between your big GL farms or your big farms, or even just knocking them out one after another, is very key for developing that resources into your account. When you have to stop your Chirotech farms because you have to farm injector pieces, it's slowing the overall progress of your account. And these assault battles, at least at challenge tier 1, give you Chirotech, they give you Zetas, and they give you these injector pieces. And all 3 of those are very important. And the faster you can start getting those injector finisher pieces into passively earning them, it's going to start accelerating your account because you're using your energy for Chirotech, which is very important. And it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest bottleneck that we have in developing our rosters. So the faster that you start getting all these assault battles, because there's 7 of them, the faster you're going to start breaking through these bottlenecks of injector pieces, and then you can start focusing on the bottlenecks that we all have as late to endgame players, which is Chirotech. So assault battles are very important in developing your account. And then once you start getting into higher tier ones like challenge tier 2 and 3, then that's just going to be some extra signal data and some extra relic pieces and salvage that's going to help you develop your account even faster. So it's an investment over time. That investment is going to earn you more resources, which is going to speed up your account. Because if you just continue going GL after GL after GL and you don't build your fleet, you don't build raid participation, and you don't build assault battles, then you're not actually accelerating the growth that you get more resources in your account and you don't get faster development. So if you layer in get your fleet placement, then your first GL, and then sprinkle in those assault battles, now you're getting more and more and more resources into your account, and that allows you to start building things faster and faster, and you're getting more passive income, which is allowing you to develop your account in a faster way than just strictly going straight for the GLs or going for GL counters. All right, next we have Jabba. So Jabba is an excellent farm. He has nodes in all of TB. He's great in Conquest. He's great in Grand Arena. The defining event of why Jabba is the best either first or second GL to go for is Smuggler's Run 2. Smuggler's Run 2 is a night and day difference in mod income. If you can do Smuggler's Run 2, you're going to get every 2 weeks enough to get 2 6-dot mods, and you're going to get calibration materials and also additional mods. Like the mods themselves aren't a big deal, but those mod resources are absolutely huge. So if you care about being competitive, if you want to do the best that you can, every month that you don't have Jabba in your account, you are losing out on so much mod material, which is going to put you in a worse position against your opponents if they have Jabba, because they're going to have better mods in their account than you, more than likely. So Jabba should be either your second GL or your third. You really should prioritize him. He has great farming synergy with JML, Leia, the Profundity. He's just an all-around excellent farm, and I always advise people, if they're not close to any GLs, I usually advise them, hey, go for Jabba. Smuggler's Run 2 is game changing as far as developing excellent mods in your account, and you should prioritize him. Next, we have JML. So you may say, Captain Amazing, you don't even have JML. Yeah, I get it. I'm farming him right now. I just unlocked Jabba, and then I'm going for JML. There's only so many things you can farm into your account. I'm going straight for JML. And the reason I'm going for JML is Conquest. Hard Conquest is a very important way that we get very important characters. So those Conquest characters are usually lifters for GLs. They're very meta-defining ships. They are the tip of the spear as far as non-GL ships. Like, they are the best characters. I would say second tier after GLs. You need to be able to unlock those Conquest characters before they hit Proving Grounds in 6 months. Ideally, you want to get Red Box so that you can unlock them in 3 months. And doing that requires that you farm every new character that ever comes out, or have a way of cheesing feats. And JML is the master of cheesing feats in Conquest. He's an excellent Conquest character. He's also an amazingly great Grand Arena offensive GL. So you want JML in your account. I would say if you do unlock him, please R9 him. He's like, if you R9 JML, if you go from R8 to R9, it almost triples the offensive power of his entire team. It just makes him that much more reliable. He does that much more damage. He's that much more survivable. It's an excellent R9. So there's 4 R9s you should get in the game, maybe 5 now with Leia, but that's the Leviathan requirements, the Profundity requirements, and JML. So, and Leia if you want, because she's a tank too. But JML is a very important GL. So especially for Conquest. Conquest isn't going anywhere. It's a very important game mode. JML should be either your third or fourth GL because he's that important for Conquest. So, and Conquest is a very important game mode, so you need to prioritize it. Next, we have early to mid game solo characters. So I don't specifically farm for Grand Arena. I farm for characters and resources that and teams that are going to give me all those new resources, and it's going to allow me to accelerate my account, which allows me to build it faster, and then I do better in Grand Arena because I have more in my account, more mods, more GLs, more GL ships. But if I bring something into my account right now, it's because it's going to give me more resources, which is going to allow me to develop it faster. But these, when you're in jumping up from carbonite to chromium, or to bronzium to chromium to iridium into kyber, you're really stretched, especially when you go from one bracket to another. Your roster gets stretched because you have to field more teams, and the higher up you go, the more teams you have to field. So the earlier that you unlock and put these 4 characters into your account, the better overall you're gonna do, because these it will, especially Wampa and Savage and Darth Malik, are teams that they're just pretty much, those 3 characters are 15 members worth in Grand Arena, because Darth Malik can solo Padme teams, Savage can solo General Grievous or a lot of other teams, Wampa can solo a lot of other teams, General Grievous. So generally, every Grand Arena, for the most part, I've used Wampa to solo General Grievous. I use Savage to solo CLS. I use Malik to solo Padme. And those are key defense teams that you see up and down the entire Grand Arena brackets until you hit the higher rings of Kyber. And then Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is a surprisingly good solo character. He can take out things like Old Republic, Ewoks, a surprisingly good solo character. His second special, he pretty much heals all the way and heals all his protection. So he's a solid 69 banner win. He kind of loses his solo ability pretty early on, but mid game, especially if you have SLKR, don't sleep on him. He's really great for getting 69 banners. Not as great as Wampa, Savage, or Darth Malik, who have viability all the way up till Kyber. Kylo Ren will kind of like taper off, but having teams that can solo get you max 69 banners in 5v5, and then also just allowing you to stretch your roster that much more, is very important for doing well in Grand Arena and climbing up in those early to mid game ranks. So I would say having at least Wampa and Savage with their Omicrons early game is going to be key for climbing out of that bronzium, carbonite ranks, and then start heading into chromium and iridium is where you'll start seeing a lot more difficult teams, but you're going to have use for all these guys all the way up until you hit Kyber. So that's what I would say is an important way of building your roster. So no matter what way or what game mode is important to you, getting more resources is key in this game. And going and getting your Fleet Arena, your GLs, Jabba, JML, those assault battles, and then those key solo characters for Grand Arena is going to give you the most bang for your buck and getting resources into this game so that you can do better in whatever game mode you want. And those are the core foundations of getting good resources so that you can build your account that much faster. So overall, if you like this content, like and subscribe, and tune into my next videos. Take care.